So here's the question on everyone's mind. Is AI coming for marketing jobs? Well, the answer turns out to be a whole lot stranger than just a simple yes or no. It's not really about the end of an era, but the beginning of something totally different. Let's break down what the data actually shows. And that right there is the core idea we have to get our heads around. This isn't about replacement. It's about a fundamental split, a kind of great divide in how work gets done and who's prepared for it. Okay, get ready for probably the most surprising number in this entire conversation. A really deep study looking at dozens of marketing roles over a year and a half found that AI eliminated exactly 0 positions, not a single one. That one stat just completely flips the script on the biggest fear people have. Right, so if nobody got fired, then what is all the fuss about? Well, it's because while the job titles might have stayed the same, the actual job, it's been totally rewritten from the inside out. So let's dive into the first part of this story, the brand new roles that have sort of popped up, often without a big flashy AI title. These are jobs that, just weren't even a thing a few years back. First up, you've got the campaign intelligence analyst. Now, this is not your old school data specialist. This person's entire job is to use AI to crunch like 15 times more data, finding those little hidden signals that lead to smarter strategies. Stuff a human would just totally miss, no matter how much coffee they've had. Next, there's the content systems designer. Think of this person less like a writer and more like an architect. They're not just writing one article, they're designing the entire factory where AI, human editors, and different tools all work together to pump out content efficiently. And this one is so important, the automation QA specialist. Look, when you have an AI spitting out hundreds of ad variations every week, you absolutely need a human as the final checkpoint. They make sure the AI doesn't, go rogue and promise a 200% ROI or send out a really weird passive-aggressive email. It's quality control on a massive scale. So, okay, those are the brand new jobs. But what's happening even more often is how existing roles have been completely rewritten. The title on your LinkedIn profile is the same, but what you actually do on a Tuesday morning looks nothing like it used to. Just take the SEO specialist. The old way was this manual, painful slog through spreadsheets that could take weeks. The new way? AI does all that heavy lifting on research in minutes, and that frees up the human specialist to focus only on high-level strategy, finding the gaps everyone else is missing, and pushing content live in days, not months. And it's the exact same story for social media managers. That endless grind of creating content that used to eat up the entire week, that's now compressed into a couple of hours on a Monday morning. This frees them up to spend the rest of their time doing the one thing AI is terrible at, building real, authentic relationships with their community. Okay, so all of this leads to a completely new way of thinking about how marketing work actually gets done. The old step-by-step assembly line it's gone. What we have now is more like a dynamic 2-lane highway. Here is the key takeaway. The job of a marketer hasn't been replaced, it's been split right down the middle. It's now 2 distinct types of work that are happening at the same time. On the left here, you see track 1. This is AI's lane. This is all the high-volume, repetitive stuff, like getting first drafts on paper or pulling together reports. But on the right, that's track 2. That's the human lane. This is the judgment layer, everything that needs real brand knowledge, risk assessment, and creative taste. The modern marketer's job isn't to do the work in track 1 anymore. It's to direct the AI in track 1 so you can get way better results in track 2. And that brings us to the most important question of all. Where do we still have the edge? Where is our human judgment not just kind of helpful, but absolutely essential? Well, here's a quick list. Things like developing a unique brand voice, managing a PR crisis, or reading the room in a huge client pitch. These are things that need nuance and emotional intelligence that AI just doesn't have. Trying to get an AI to do this stuff isn't just a bad idea, it can be downright dangerous for your brand. This actually creates a huge new problem. When every company out there starts using the exact same AI models to write their marketing, you get this inevitable sea of sameness. And the data backs this up. Just look at this. A study of new tech websites found that over 3/4 of them use the exact same phrase, streamline your workflow. AI is great at producing average, predictable content, which means it just ends up reinforcing cliches. In this new world, standing out is actually harder than ever. So what skills should you be focusing on right now? Number 1,
real advanced human writing. Taking that bland text an AI spits out and making it sound unique takes more skill, not less. Number 2, strategic prioritization. When AI gives you 100 ideas in 10 seconds, the real job is figuring out which one is the winner. And number 3, synthesis. Making sure all the different pieces that AI creates actually come together to tell one single coherent story.
All right, this brings us to our final and honestly, maybe the most critical point. The biggest threat from AI isn't mass unemployment. It's something much quieter, much more structural. It's a broken career ladder. Just look at this shift. The junior level, get your hands dirty roles are shrinking because AI can do those tasks now. At the same time, the demand for senior, strategic thinkers who can direct the AI is exploding. We're hollowing out the middle, the very place where people used to learn the ropes. Seriously, think about what that means. We've automated the exact grunt work that used to be the training ground for the next generation of leaders. New marketers used to learn strategy by doing all that boring manual stuff. Now, they might start their careers telling an AI to do things they have no personal experience with at all. And this leaves us with a massive unanswered question. By making everything faster, are we accidentally preventing the next generation of marketers from getting that deep fundamental knowledge that only comes from doing things the slow, hard way first? Are we creating a future leadership class with huge strategic blind spots? That's not a problem for an AI to solve. That's a problem for us.